goes at YouTube? Today is Wednesday for me, but happy whatever day it is that you're watching this. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get to this video. Okay, in today's video, we're going to react to Missy Elliott's transformation video. So, let's get to this video.
She's easily one of the most influential people in the music industry, with a career that spanned decades. But this Grammy-winning superstar didn't just land on the scene as rap royalty. So how exactly did she work it? Here's the stunning transformation of Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Instead, she was raised in a working-class home, the only child of her mom, Patricia, who worked as a dispatcher for a power company, and her dad, Ronnie, a former Marine. But despite her humble origins, Elliott knew she was destined for greatness, something she proclaimed to her classmates when asked what she wanted to be when she grew up. She told MTV,
"Everybody was saying doctors, lawyers, teachers, and I would always say, I'm gonna be a superstar."
I like her hair.
And the whole class would bust out laughing.
But the laughter of her classmates didn't deter her, and she never wavered in her ambitions. She told Elle, "I was like, I'm going to be a superstar. So when I would get in my room, it was like, if y'all don't see it, I'm going to create it myself."
And I always wonder if any of them out there remember me.
Elliott's father was a violent man, and he regularly assaulted Elliott's mother in front of her. Although he hit Elliott once, he was also verbally abusive. Elliott told The Guardian that on one particular occasion, he pulled a gun on us and forced my mom and I both outside without clothes. He was crazy like that. I lived in constant fear.
I was screaming like, "Daddy, please don't kill my mother. Please don't kill my mother."
Elliott taught herself how to cope with the abuse early on by retreating to her room and losing herself in music. There, she performed for her dolls and wrote letters to her favorite artists.
I used to take like my baby alives, all my doll babies, and sit them up against the wall and imagine that they were screaming for me.
Missy told The Guardian, "I had friends, but I never stayed at anyone's house because I was scared that I would come home and find my mother dead. I remember seeing my mother crouched in the corner with her arm out of its socket."
Wow. That's crazy.
"There isn't a day goes by that I don't think about it all." Eventually, both Elliott and her mother moved into a safe living situation. Elliott's ascent into superstardom first kicked into gear when she was introduced to fellow legends in the making, Timbaland and Pharrell Williams, in high school. The three of them would hang out and work on music together and found a rhythm despite how different they were from each other. Missy told Elle, "Tim was very quiet, Pharrell was way on planet Mars, and I was just whatever. I was kind of crazy, but for whatever reason, we all understood each other." At the time, Elliott was also in an all-girl group called Fazee, later renamed which was produced by Timbaland, and eventually caught the attention of singer-producer Devontae, according to The Guardian. He invited the group to cut a record in New York, but the band fell apart in the studio and dissolved before their rise ever began. In the meantime, Elliott and Timbaland's creative partnership was about to blow up on the scene. It didn't take long for word of the songwriting talents of Elliott and Timbaland to get noticed. And that was mainly due to the work the pair did on the late singer Aaliyah's 1996 double platinum album 1 in a Million, which has been heralded as a crowning achievement in R&B music according to Billboard. After that, the same record companies that had previously told Elliott she weighed too much to be a solo act came crawling back, hoping to get a piece of the action. But Elliott wasn't about to...
Okay, I know that I just passed a little bit, but they said that she weighed too much to be a solo act, really?
Bow to the people who crushed her dreams in the past. She told The Guardian, "They'd broken my heart. They said I could sing, I could write, but that I looked wrong. That was the lowest thing you could say. I didn't forget."
That just fueled her passion to prove everyone wrong.
Elliott held out until she landed her own record label, Gold Mind Inc.
With
full creative control, Missy was now poised to take over the world.
They came crawling back to her.
Where were you when the video for The Rain, Supa Dupa Fly dropped on MTV? Well, if you were watching TV in 1997, you were witnessing history being made. Elliott knew exactly what she was doing for her debut single, deftly deploying symbolism in her costume choices. She told Elle, "The outfit was a symbol of power. I loved the idea of feeling feeling like a hip-hop Michelin woman. I knew I could have on a blow-up suit and still have people talking. It was bold and different. Elliott added that she had always seen herself as a creator and inventor, and now the world had proof. Supa Dupa Fly was a critical and commercial success, but for Elliott, it was just the beginning. When Elliott entered the music business in the late 1990s, she was immediately subjected to the exclusionary beauty standards imposed on women at the time. Initially, that was a barrier, as record execs wouldn't give her the time of day because of her weight. Fortunately, however, Elliott got some major support from heavyweight hitters like Mary J. Blige. Missy revealed on Behind the Music, "When we first met Mary J. Blige, she pulled me to the side and said, 'Don't worry about your size or anything. You're going to be a star. Hold your head up.' That always stuck with me." So rather than shrink back or crash diet, Elliott instead decided to embrace herself, rendering her a body positivity icon long before hashtag body positivity was even a thing. According to The Guardian, she highlighted what others had perceived as imperfections, sporting wild, larger-than-life costumes and taking up as much space as possible.
Seeing and having encouraging people around you always makes it better, especially people that are already in the business, that are high up, and they encourage you and say that basically they got your back. That's great. See, look at that. Don't believe most people say, always encourage yourself. Be your number one fan.
Was there for it.
Man, I hate diets.
One thing that became apparent fairly early on in Elliott's career was that she's actually very shy. She admitted to Interview magazine in 1999, "I'm not a party person. You may catch me at a puffy party every now and then, but I'm not out like that all the time. Right now it's just me and you in the room, but if there were 5 or 6 other people in here, I'd..."
Okay, that kind of seemed like a that was like a low blow, saying it's taking as much space as possible. But you didn't have to say that. Narrator.
Are getting wheezy and thinking everybody's staring at me. While it may sound impossible to believe for someone who has performed in front of packed stadiums, being on stage is easier for Elliott than being in a crowded room. She added, "I just block everybody out. With 6 people in here, we're this close, so they're looking in my face and it feels like they're waiting for me to mess up a word or something. People at a concert are farther away, and with the lights, I can't really see their faces." After her game-changing debut album, Elliott released 5 more studio albums between 1999 and 2005. The Real World, Miss E, So Addictive, Under Construction, This Is Not a Test, and The Cookbook. In that time, she also won multiple awards, including 6 VMAs, 2 Soul Train Awards, and a Grammy, along with a slew of nominations. During those years, she also lost a significant amount of weight, something she did for herself to improve her
Her hair is always on point. I love it.
energy. She told Interview, "I wanted to be in good health for my shows because I do a lot of dancing and running around, and I don't want my heart to fail on me. I go to the gym maybe 3 days a week, and I do exercises every day, 300 crunches, 200 leg lifts." Elliott had been moving at a breakneck pace in the early 2000s, releasing albums, making videos, and touring the world. But in the latter part of the...
See, she did it for herself and not for nobody else. That's why you got to do things for yourself, because if you do it for other people, it's going to come right back. Do it for yourself, and you will keep it off, and it'll be making you happier and not sad as a person.
She found herself suffering from dizziness and unexplained weight loss. As it turned out, Elliott had a thyroid condition called Graves' disease, according to Elle.
Anybody that has Graves' disease, like, you feel like you finna be out of here.
Missy told the Angie Martinez show,
I remember not being able to write because I couldn't even lift up a pen. I couldn't even lift up a cup.
Fortunately, these days, Elliott has her condition under control, but it's something that's left her forever changed. Although Elliott went on a rather long hiatus during the late 2000s and early 2010s, that doesn't mean she was taking it easy. In fact, Elliott was quite busy with a variety of projects, most of them involving producing other artists. She said via Billboard, "A lot of people don't know a lot of records that I've written or produced. I always said if a man would have done half the records that I've done, we would know about it, but we don't know all the records I've done for other artists."
They just see the glory of it, but they don't see what goes on behind the scenes.
Elliott also released the occasional single during these years. According to the outlet, even though she wasn't churning out albums, she was definitely lighting it up behind the scenes. 2015 turned out to be huge for Elliott, as it was widely hailed as her comeback. It started when she got a call from Katy Perry, who wanted Elliott to perform during her halftime show at the Super Bowl. Missy told ID, "I immediately thought that she would want me to perform last Friday, the record that we did together. So when me and Katy got on the phone, she said she was a fan of my work and that she wanted me to perform, but to perform 3 of my records." In addition to killing it at the Super Bowl, Elliott dropped WTF, Where They From, in December of that year, a track on which she collaborated with Pharrell Williams.
He was the one that came up with the melody and made it cool where it didn't feel dated.
The song was a success, peaking at number 22 on the Billboard charts and proving Elliott was just as hot as ever.
I think the world just missed her. I think that's all I have to say.
In May 2019, Elliott was awarded an honorary doctorate by the Berklee College of Music, giving the commencement address as well.
I don't even know how I'm standing here, but I thank y'all. I thank God.
In an emotional speech, she told the new graduates to never give up, and she shared her own story of perseverance, saying,
As long as you are breathing, it is never too late.
Elliott was also inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, according to Billboard, becoming the first female rapper to receive the honor. Once again, she told her audience to keep up the hustle and to push through any and all obstacles. In a taped speech, former First Lady Michelle Obama commended Elliott's trailblazing efforts, saying, "Thank you not for just sharing your gift with the world, but for being an advocate for so many people out there, especially young girls who are still figuring out how to make their voices heard." Then, in August 2019, Elliott was honored by MTV with the Video Vanguard Award, where she also gave a career-spanning performance featuring a medley of her hits: The Rain, Hot Boys, Get Your Freak On, Work It, Pass That Dutch, and Lose Control.
To be recognized for the hard work means more than anybody could know.
Of course, she didn't forget her iconic bubble suit. Elliott has come a long way since her early days, especially when it comes to money. According to Celebrity Net Worth, she's worth an estimated $50 million thanks to her decades-long career in the industry. And while she isn't one to always spend her money on luxuries like private jets, she's certainly enjoyed spending her cash in other ways.
People who may not be as successful or going through things, they don't want to see you up there with the mad money.
Elliott has amassed quite the car collection, including a Porsche 911, 2 Lamborghinis, a Rolls-Royce, a Range Rover, a Ferrari 599, and a Jeep Cherokee that she says is her favorite, according to Elle. And as of 2019, Elliott also owns 7 houses. But when it comes to where she really feels rich, her greatest personal triumph is that her mother is fully taken care of and finally happy. Missy told The Guardian, "My mom has every car she wants, from Benzes to Ferraris. She has a 15,000 square foot house. I love to see her smile again. As for me, if I see a pair of sneakers or a diamond ring that I like, I just buy it. I see $1 million every couple of months. That's real nice too."
I just always say spend your money wisely.
That sounds like one luxurious happily ever after. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.
That's amazing. That's great. It's great from where she came from, what she does. She's very encouraging, and she tells you don't look at where you are and encourage yourself. So, comment down below, what you think of, what you thought of that video. All right. Check out Missy Elliott's channel, about her music channel that she has on YouTube, and check out her music, because I used to be a fan. I was a fan and still am a fan of her music from the early 2000s and late 1990s, because I was in high school, middle school. It was always good to reminisce, especially Can You Work It? It's one of my favorite videos of hers. So, see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, you guys, be encouraging, encourage yourself, be your #1 fan, and don't listen to other people's negativity, especially with this year. Progress forward. All right. Bye.